Good evening, I'm Jessica Hernandez and my host is Jamie Peterson. We're here live today at Potawatomi Park in Grand Haven, and our biome today is freshwater. As you can see today, the outside temperature is 85 degrees out. The water is set to be at 63 with 10% precipitation and humidity.
Also, here we have 5 bodies of water that we will be discussing today. As shown here, we have Lake Erie, Ontario, Huron, Superior, and Lake Michigan. Those are the 5 Great Lakes here in Michigan.
Here we're at the bayou in Grand Haven and Potawatomi, and this is also considered freshwater. We have living in the organisms of algae, grass, cattails in the back, brown grasses in the front, a little weed maple tree, and of course sand, water, and lilies in the back. Currently, that makes up the living organisms right here today as we're standing. Of course, in our surroundings are trees and other kind of fish.
And next, my co-host Jamie Peterson will be explaining special adaptations. Jamie? So the special adaptations that we have here on this body of water are the trees. The trees provide shelter and nutrition and oxygen for the birds. And also right here on the shoreline we have plants and algae, and that provides food and shelter for fish and minnows. Next, here we're going to discuss the diversity between freshwater and other biomes. At this biome, we have green plants, which also give off bacteria and food for the living animals, which we have living animals here in the freshwater, such as fish, crawfish, minnows, animals. Also, we have the natural sunlight, which comes and produces rays with the condensation from the clouds. Salt water has a disadvantage to the freshwater because they don't have living plants, and also the desert does not have an advantage to us in this freshwater because it doesn't have any water. It's dry in the desert.
Alrighty, thank you, Jamie. That was well explained.
You're welcome.
Next, we're going to talk about the productivity, like the productive. Well, in this productivity, as you can see in the background, many boats are out there, so you can definitely be boating out here in this water, as well as we've got a couple kids on the other side swimming as well. As we said, that living organisms here, like such as the fish and also like ducks. There's ducks floating out. Geese or ducks out there swimming. Also, if you can see the here, people like to cast out their fishing poles and catch something, whether that be bluegill, pike, bass, whatever is in this lake. Also, you can see the sunset facing that way.
As you can see, here we have a fisherwoman, and she is fishing out here trying to get some good, delicious dinner. As well, you can see these geese out here, and people are tubing and paddle boarding over here to your left. This is part of the productivity and the freshwater. As a recap for what we discussed today on our channel was the freshwater of Michigan. We talked about the 5 different lakes here in Michigan, as well as the disturbance, the community diverse, and the living animals here in this biome. As well, Jessica,
I would like to add is that Michigan is granted with 4 seasons: summer, winter, fall, and spring. Not in that particular order, but it's granted. But in the winter time, as we all know, water freezes at 36 degrees, and this becomes all ice. Once it starts to hit springtime, it all thaws out, and then once it hits late May, early June, that's when everybody likes to come out here and swim. Now, the advantages would be that freshwater is accessible to everybody, and especially where we live, we've got the 5 lakes that we talked about. As well as we have the advantage of easily catching fishes at all times. It's either if it's a man-made lake, if it's Lake Michigan, or bayou, river, or stream, we can easily do it. As well as we have an advantage of looking up to the sun for the sunset here in the water as well. Thank you for watching the Baker channel of our biome of fresh water.